Live from the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet welcomes you into coverage of East Coast Conference men's basketball, streaming exclusively on Flow College. Tonight's men's basketball conference opener features the College of Staten Island Dolphins taking on the Mercy University Mavericks. Good evening, everybody. My name is Joe Foreman, joined on the call by Nicholas Bavona, and this is the McDonald's pregame show. McDonald's is our scoreboard sponsor here at the College of Staten Island, and they bring you our pregame coverage ahead of every CSI Dolphins home game. And Nick, the Dolphins come in following a victory over Georgian Court, 80-67 in their last outing, and are still looking for their first conference win here in their conference opener. How can they pick it up against this Mavericks team?
Well, look at what happened in that game against Georgia Court, Joe. Great games all around. You had 4 players in double figures for the Dolphins in that matchup. Aaron Goldstein, 18 points. Asa Kone, 18 points. Mitchell Wiggin off the bench, 17 points. J.J. Chestnut, 11 points. It's kind of what we've been seeing from this Dolphins team to start the year. Great contributions not only from the starting 5, but as well as their bench. And that's really what has been a huge factor for them so far in their first 7 games. Great rebounding numbers as well for the Dolphins in that matchup. They have rebounded the Lions 47-42, 36 points in the paint, 25 bench points, and they forced 14 turnovers as well in that game. So Dolphins are doing it on both sides of the court. We're seeing a great so far season from Goldstein and Chestnut, Wiggin and Kona, just to mention a few players. But with conference play starting already here tonight for this team, you as much as you like the 4-3 record you've started the season with, I don't want to say you throw it out the window with by tonight, but this is the first official game of the season for the CSI team, because conference play, as we both know, means a whole lot to both sides.
It certainly does, and since 2023, the Dolphins have lost to this Mavericks team just once, and that was in their most recent meeting, 79-77. How did the Mavericks manage to pull off the upset in a late regular season game that had plenty of playoff implications for a Dolphins team that was trying to lock up a playoff spot?
Well, you looked at that game, Joe. There were so many tough buckets that the Mavericks made in that game towards the end. They were down early in that game, fought their way back in the second half, and we'd be remiss for how that game ended. Buzzer beater win for Mercy at the end to get a 79-77 win over the Dolphins. It was a really crushing defeat for CSI at that point, and it didn't deter from what the season had gone for them, but the Mavericks really needed that win. They got the job done, winning it at the buzzer, and now they're looking for their first win of the season. As you see right there, they're off to an 0-5 start, so they would like to throw those first 5 games out the window and try to get on the win column this season with their first win, not only of the season, but their first conference win as well.
And looking at what the Dolphins have done through 7 games, you have to be impressed with how they've played so far this year and with the job this coaching staff has done. The team has competed with nationally acclaimed programs, and the players that you've needed to step up in bigger roles have done that during the first 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah, and I think that's what we expected. We talked about at the beginning of the year. You lost a couple of big players on this program, and you need some guys to take that next big step. And you start off with Goldstein. He's having a monster start to the season, 21.4 points per game. You have Chestnut averaging 11.3 points per game. Mitchell Wiggin has been a revelation for this team off the bench for them this season, 11.3 points per game. And then you have Asa Kone, 9.1 points per game, but a big stat, of course, that 8.9 rebounds per game. And you look at what they've done in recent memory against this Mavericks team, and remember how these 2 games differentiated. The Dolphins, that first win against Mercy, 106 points in that victory over the Mavericks. Big games from Goldstein, Chestnut, as well as Kone in that game for the remaining players that are here with the team. And then in the loss against the Mavericks, that buzzer beater loss, those 3 players, they struggled to score in that game. So it was a different style of play for both sides to try to get points. Can the Dolphins replicate what they did on the road at Dobbs Ferry instead of what they did here at the Tank?
And when you look at this Mercy team, it's been a generally inefficient year for them shooting, and opponents are shooting very well against them. That being said, this roster has 2 of the ECC's top 10 scorers, and the Mavericks put together one of their best shooting efforts of the 2024-25 season last time they saw the CSI defense.
Yeah, you look at Cohen Robatham. I mean, what a season he's having, Joe. 18.8 points per game. You mentioned how they've been scoring at will this season. You also look at Jordan Trahan, who has had another great season, 15.8 points per game. And that's something that the Dolphins, I'm curious to see how they line up defensively against those two guys, because we saw in the last game how, when you have top scorers like that, they're going to make you pay at certain points in these games. The Mavericks are hoping those two guys can lead them to some early on scoring while the Dolphins try to figure out a way to stop them on the defensive side. So we should be in for, I think, in my opinion, a very high-scoring affair here tonight.
And I mentioned the CSI defense and how the Mavericks performed last time they saw this Dolphins defense. So far this year, the Dolphins defense has held opponents under 40% shooting from the field. Opponents have, however, shot 33% against them from downtown. If you look down the stat line for the Dolphins, I think the only real blemish is that they're shooting just 31% from beyond the arc this year. But the way they've played so far at the defensive end, it's helped lead to some offense, and overall, they've shot the ball efficiently up above 42%. What has impressed you most about the Dolphins on either side of the ball so far this year?
I really have enjoyed what they've been doing on both sides. You start on the offensive side. I've liked what they've done in terms of trying to set that pace of play and find that open shots. And I've liked what they've done with Aaron Goldstein this season. We mentioned how big of a prolific scorer he was last season. He has even made it a better rate this season with the 21 points per game he's averaging this season. So I'm liking the improvements that he has made, as well as Mitchell Wiggin on the offensive front. Asa Kone has looked really strong this season as well on both sides of the floor. And you look at the defensive side as well, Joe. I like what they've been doing in terms of finding a way to stop their opposing teams on the defensive front. Really strong rotations as well, and they're getting good rebounding numbers as well this season. Kone, as I mentioned, leads the team in rebounds per game. You also look at the turnover margins they have forced in their games this season. So I think that's what's been, right now, the biggest thing that's been working for this team. Now, with 7 games into the season, you've liked what you've seen so far for this team, but now this is where it all matters. You need to carry all of that momentum and all of that recent success into your start of conference play with this first game tonight.
All right, Nick, I hate to pose this question on headset, but did they get you the starting lineups?
I know I have the lineups.
Have the Mavericks.
I don't have the Mavericks.
And the live stats are not pushing. So we'll have to wait until the Mavericks take the floor. But as the Dolphins are being introduced, let's meet the Dolphins starters.
Dolphins starting lineup tonight: number 1, Joey Poulin; number 3, J.J. Chestnut; number 10, Asa Kone; number 21, Aaron Goldstein; and rounding out the lineup, number 32, Eric Tynes. And I'll see if I can quickly get a quick glance at the Mavericks. They're at least on the court right now. I see Cohen Robatham. It looks like he's going to start, of course. Ashton Pratt, it looks like, as well. Number 25, Tyrell Miller. I'll look to see the last 2 numbers as well. Number 2, TJ Holloway. And then I would think Jordan Trahan, and that is indeed the case. Jordan Trahan, the last of the 5. So we don't need to get that up. I can just look.
You're much bolder than me, Nick, because I don't like to guess. Typically when I guess, I look rather foolish in the end, but you nailed it. Good job, Nick. So hopefully they get those live stats pushing.
At least I hope I nailed it.
I think they're working on it. I'm watching them right now. Aaron Goldstein just introduced out on the floor for the Dolphins, and you take a look at the leaders in the ECC. Goldstein second in scoring. Taj Malik Campbell leads the conference with over 25 points per game. Goldstein, the only other player averaging over 20 per game. He comes in averaging 21.4. And he's done that in a sample size of 7 games. Campbell has played just 5 to this point. The Mavericks come in having played just 5 games. The Dolphins have played 7. Any disadvantage or advantage there in terms of getting out there a bit more? And we know the caliber of competition the Dolphins have faced as well.
I think it's an advantage because you've seen some top teams so far early in the season. Of course, you were down there in Florida when they played some nationally ranked teams in Florida, and we saw what Aaron Goldstein did earlier in the season. That big 40-piece that he put on in that game I mean, it shows you that this team can score at will. They can play with the very best of not only the ECC, but the entire country as well. And I think that's what's really impressive about this team. I know they had the 3 losses, but those 3 losses were to respectable teams. And that's why they scheduled those games, Joe, because you would like to face those top-tier competition early on in the season so that you can figure out how your team's going to react to those matchups. And then once you get closer to March, you can figure out how your team is going to go against the trying to figure out a way to go against the adversity of trying to compete with some of the top teams in all of the country. So I'm liking what I've seen so far in the first 7 games. We'll see if the Dolphins can get a nice start to their conference season with this game tonight.
Opening tip goes to the Dolphins, controlled by Goldstein. J.J. Chestnut will run the point to get us underway from the tank. Goldstein now with his back to the basket, finds Poulin, entry pass, Kone, and he banks it in to open the scoring.
Kone with a nice start to this game, going on the inside. We talked about it in the Dolphins' win over the Mavericks last season, 22 points and 11 rebounds, but in the loss that they had, Joe, here at the tank, just 4 points and 5 rebounds. So Kone, a big factor in the win, but they really needed him in that loss to Mercy.
Really tough shot over a double team, and
nice block by Poulin as well.
A block on the follow. Trahan went up with a really tough shot, and then the follow-up attempt was sent back. We'll get one more look at that on replay.
Yeah, second look right here. You see the first initial shot, the offensive glass, but a good job by Poulin with that block, just getting all ball. Sometimes you see a foul call on those type of plays, but a nice defensive play right there by Poulin.
Now, can you say that was sent back, or was it redirected away?
I would say redirected.
Yeah, sent back implies a bit more emphasis at the end of that block. But equally effective for Poulin, who also secured the rebound, as that one got away briefly. Last touched by Chestnut with 7 on the shot clock.
7 to go on the shot clock, as you mentioned. Mavericks about to try to draw up something quickly here off the inbound.
Baseline drive. Holloway with the spinning jumper rattles it in.
Wow, what a shot by Holloway right there. That's a really tough fall-away jumper.
He knew what he wanted to do as soon as he caught that ball, got to his spot, and knocked down the spinning jumper. We're knotted up at 2. Chestnut on the drive, and he lays it in.
Nice job by Chestnut. He found the screen from Kone. He gets a nice easy 2 on that layup.
Well, at a glance, Nick, 2 teams match up pretty well in terms of size. The Dolphins maybe with a slight edge there. Looks like Tynes has a bit of an advantage over Holloway, who he's guarding, but we've seen J.J. Chestnut aggressive, looking to drive, as there's a fadeaway jumper by Trahan.
Another great shot right there, this time from Trahan.
Chestnut's been aggressive. That's resulted in some blocked attempts. I think he might have an easier time scoring inside tonight, as we have our first AG3.
Well, Joe, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I said this might be a high-scoring game. 11 points already in the first 2 minutes.
Nick Stradamus.
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
Give it a little bit of time.
It's in part my job as your broadcast partner to gas you up a bit, you know? Dolphins, meanwhile, force the turnover.
A quick look right here at that last 3 by Aaron Goldstein, a very long-range 3.
Our good friend Nick Durst, as he'd say, good as gold. 3 points on the board for Goldstein. Dolphins in front, 7-4. This is Kone. He gets inside and draws the foul.
I like what Kone did there, Joe. He was very aggressive as soon as he got himself inside of that post, made a nice move towards the bucket, and he draws the foul. And he's a very capable player of drawing fouls and getting to the free throw line. So we'll see how he does here at the charity strike.
Kone to the line to attempt the first free throws of this game. Looks like our camera drifted left again, Nick.
Yeah, just a bit.
Well, to be fair, we're not wireless yet.
We did also move it last game, but so maybe that was the reason. But
well, it drifted back in the other direction.
Oh, okay.
but we're still good. The paint is centered nicely.
That's all that matters at the end of the day.
Well, you'd like to see the corner, but there are sometimes spectators in that area.
You know, we do like to see scoreboard working.
Another plug for Scoreboard. They're going to do big business after this game.
To. They're doing me a big favor after working a lot of the game so far without it.
Tough shot inside, no good by Pratt. Loose ball collected by Poulin.
Dolphins will slow it up as they didn't have the numbers there.
Chestnut, lefty floater is good, and the Dolphins lead it by 7.
How many times have we seen Chestnut over the years with that nice left-handed floater? Tough one for him to put the Dolphins now up 7.
Dolphins off to a strong start early. Got off to a nice start against the Mavericks in the last meeting as well, as Kone rebounds that miss.
And that was just it. They got off to a great start. The second half was really the story of the game. The Dolphins went on a cold stretch towards the end, and that's really what hurt them.
That was a good look from Chestnut as Kone draws another foul. And very quickly, Asa Kone is presenting a big problem for the Mavericks inside.
Yeah, second look right here at the Chestnut floater. Nice job by him to knock down that floater and made a great pass as we saw before to set up Kone now for these 2 free throws.
Kone's free throw is good.
Checking in for Mercy, number 15, Christopher Nana.
So here's the question, Joe. Is it Nana or Nana? It's Nana, right? I would say Nana.
Not on the pronunciation guide?
Right there.
That's Nana.
Yeah. He said Nana.
Well, he would be incorrect. We won't say who he is. Kone 1 of 2 from the line. Dolphins lead it by 8. That's very clearly on the pronunciation guide. I'm a bit perturbed that you had to ask. I was baffled by the question.
Yeah, because he said it, and I figured to myself, that surely is not right.
Well, it is not correct, no. Tynes misses the 3. Kone fighting for the rebound, and it was finally brought in by Nana.
Well, you could tell, Joe, even though they got the rebound, it's going to be a very tough game tonight for the Mavericks inside of the paint trying to get rebounds against Kone.
Goldstein off the miss. We'll try the pull-up, in and out.
And I think that maybe the strategy the Mavericks can have against Kone is maybe try to get him into foul trouble, because we saw that early in the season when the Dolphins were the Tournament of Heroes.
That was good defense by Goldstein. I think he got the sense Holloway was looking to spin. As that floater by Robatham is good over Kone.
One of the leading scorers for this Mavericks team, and that was a really difficult shot right there on the floater.
He felt Kone closing in there and had to throw it up over him. Chestnut for Goldstein. Over to Poulin for 3. No good. Robatham looking. Had it poked away by Goldstein. Now looks to drive, and he's whistled for the offensive foul.
Nice defensive stop right there by Goldstein, drawing the charge as we head to the immediate break. But we will see the last made basket by the Mavericks right here, as Robatham with a tough floater puts his team within 4 as we head to the media.
We head to break. Our score, the Dolphins 12 and the Mavericks 8. 14:57 to go in the first half. And we're back from our first media timeout of this first half with the Dolphins leading 12-8. On the side of the Mavericks, TJ Holloway leading with 4 points as Poulin throws one off the bottom of the rim. Kone with 5, Chestnut with 4 for Staten Island. And that one not close by Robatham. Thought he was fouled.
He was definitely trying to draw the foul right there on that one.
And Wiggins saves that one. Straight to the Mavericks. Pratt. Defended by Poulin. He uses the screen, looks to drive, and his runner will not go. The tip-in will. Credit the basket to Jordan Trahan.
Nice job by Trahan on that follow-up, tip it in, and now make it a 2-point game.
Wiggin. Bit strong on the 3, rebounded by Benedict. And Benedict wrestles it away from a pair of Mavericks. Goldstein, bounce pass. Kone can't finish. But Benedict has another offensive board, and he was fouled.
And that's what I really liked from Benedict this season, Joe. He's been so aggressive after rebounds and finding those loose balls and getting an opportunity to either get a steal on the defensive side and on the offensive side, getting second chance opportunities for CSI.
Checking in for Mercy. Number 1, Joshua Macklin.
Joshua Macklin checks in for the Mavericks. Dolphins with 15 to shoot, leading by pair. Benedict wanted the entry pass to Kone. Instead, Poulin does eventually find Kone. He goes to work and can't finish, but the Dolphins have another offensive board.
And jump ball.
That looked like a reach.
Yeah, you could definitely make the case.
I thought that was a reach. If you couldn't tell.
Aspiring official?
I have to admit I'm aspiring a bit, Nick. I'm aspiring. You never know. I might have a striped shirt under this jacket.
I was going back to our Tournament of Heroes earlier where I had made some calls where I was trying to be the aspiring official.
Well, without Nick, we no longer have an actual official on the crew.
True.
Though, this umpiring count?
Yeah.
Pull-up jumper, no good there by Holloway.
Yeah, it's still
Well,
counts.
we are calling a basketball game.
Yeah.
Off the Holloway miss now. Benedict drives the baseline, nearly turned it over, but it was knocked out of bounds by Trahan.
And something that also happened in that game last year, Joe, here at the Tank, of course, the Dolphins had a spot where they got the rebound late with about 19 seconds, I think, in that game. And they had a bad turnover that gave the Mavericks the lead. They got back the lead after on free throws, but then that buzzer beater happened to give Mercy the win.
Entry pass. Kone had it poked away, it appeared, by Nana. Couldn't tell if he blocked it. But either way, the Mavericks out in transition can't convert. And Kone has another rebound. That's 6.
Yeah, he's approaching 10 rebounds by the end of this half for sure with the way he's been playing so far.
Well, he's off to quite the start, and they've had no answers for him inside. And that time he can't finish.
And they're going to have numbers. Kone a little bit slow to get up.
Well, they forced him into some tough shots as that one's off back iron. And Benedict has another rebound.
Another aggressive rebound by Benedict, but able to caress it.
That's his 3rd rebound. Goldstein. Off glass and in.
How about that post move right there? Goldstein with a great move. He can score at any position in the court.
Well, that's something that maybe Goldstein doesn't get enough credit for, how good he is on the inside. That was a really strong move, and then was able to finesse it at the end. As that pull-up is good by Macklin.
Yeah, not much Benedict could do right there. Good defense, but an even better shot by Macklin.
Well, the Mavericks right now answering each Dolphins bucket with one of their own as Kone is whistled for an offensive foul on the moving screen.
Offensive foul on number 10, Lisa Kone.
A second look at that post move by Goldstein as we'll head to our next media timeout.
Able to use some physicality to get it inside, and then the footwork allows him to convert for 2 more. Goldstein now with 5 points. Second media timeout of the half. CSI lead is 2. Our score, Staten Island 14 and Mercy 12.
Cheerleader.
Just over 11 and a half minutes to go here in the first half, and the Dolphins' lead is 14-12 over Mercy University. Conference opener for both teams. It's been a back-and-forth affair early, and that won't go for Trahan.
Dolphins getting a big break right there because he made a nice move past Goldstein on the post.
He got into point-blank range and couldn't finish. Wiggins, strong move, too strong off glass. Elijah Darby in as well for the Dolphins. Open man, Holloway for three.
Yeah, I was going to say before that three happened, the offense is starting to cool down just a little bit, but Holloway makes that a moot point with that three.
Goldstein for Tynes. And that's an ET3, an answer at the other end.
And that's someone that the Dolphins are hoping that can really pick up the scoring with conference play starting. Tynes, of course, hasn't really been in the scoring marks as high as we saw earlier on in the Tournament of Heroes.
He's been good for a timely basket late in games on more than one occasion for this Dolphins team. But you said it, Nick. Not scoring at an incredibly high rate, but when he's had his opportunities, he's been able to knock down some shots from the outside.
Hey, wow, another rebound right there by Benedict.
Tynes comes in second on this Dolphins team in three-pointers made as Goldstein thought he had that one. Just a bit strong, and I think you could have guessed that Goldstein leads the Dolphins in three-pointers made.
Good thing Goldstein didn't at least do the Swaggy P celebration after shooting that.
Well,
I'm sure you're familiar with that.
I am.
This clip.
He would have heard it from the bench. I don't think Coach Tibbs would have liked that one.
Yeah, that's a rough look, I can tell you that.
Speaking of Goldstein and Tynes, I think it's something that's often overlooked, but the Dolphins have started the same five in all 7 games. And I think that matters a great deal, especially when you've had some early season success. And Benedict, who's played well off the bench, has a block on that attempt by Nackland.
Yeah, he's been really impressive defensively in this game so far. You saw right there, gets the block.
Dolphins still leading by just 2. Wiggin finds Tynes open. Too strong. Benedict with another offensive board, and he draws the foul.
And Benedict's been really impressive in this game. Doesn't have a point yet, but he has done it all so far on the glass. Gets a block on the other end, and now he's going to the free throw line.
Well, without registering a single point on the stat sheet, chance to change that right here, Benedict has managed to make a big impact in his time off the bench, and now he's on the score sheet. And now, if you're the Mavericks, you really have a handful with Poulin and Benedict out there together, the way Benedict's been playing.
Yeah, and they were struggling when Kone was on the court, and now with him off, it's up to Benedict and company to try to get those offensive rebounds.
They have their hands full, Nick. Poulin with the offensive board, and then we have an AB3. It just works too well.
It really just does roll off the tongue.
We have an AB3. We can have a JP3 if Poulin knocks one down. We already had an AG3 and an ET3. Never a bad time for a rhyme. As Benedict knocks that one down, I'll stop and we'll head to break. The Dolphins lead it 21-15. .9:13 to go, first half. Dolphins lead at 21-15. Largest lead of the half. Thinking about the step back there was Nana, and he traveled.
Good defensive front right there by Darby. Dolphins defense has been very impressive so far to start this game.
Check that. Largest lead of the half was, in fact, 8. And unmistakably, Nick.
Yeah, how could we remiss?
Unmistakably. CSI baseball in the stands, and perhaps no louder, more boisterous fanatics than they.
I think the closest I've seen was the women's basketball team against in a softball game. I think it was either last year or 2 years ago.
They might have been a bit too vocal.
Just a bit.
Just a bit. 6 to shoot. Poulin out to Chestnut for 3. Splash.
JJ3 right there knocks it down. 9-point game now.
JJ3 doesn't quite have the same ring.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
We need to find a call for him.
Yeah.
When he dunks, would that be a rim roaster?
Has he made a dunk in I don't remember the last time he did dunk.
We know he can dunk, of course.
I know he can, yeah.
I don't know if he's dunked in game.
How about that shot?
That's a big basket by Trahan. The Mavericks needed that one.
Yeah, just before the Dolphins can maybe go on a little bit of a run, Trahan knocks down a long-range 3 just before the shot clock expired.
Trahan with the tray. Makes it a 6-point game.
Yeah, I just don't have it like you do at this point.
I'm on a heater right now.
You are on a heater.
Poulin a bit short. Rebound loose. Poulin's got it, and he has 2.
You might as well give an assist to Benedict on that play, Joe, because he's the reason why the ball got tipped right off after that miss.
Well, Poulin and Benedict out there together have been a problem. All over the offensive glass, and in the absence of Kone, to see that from 2 of your non-bigs is a really big boost. Meanwhile, speaking of bigs, Darby in there for that rebound. Chestnut uses the Tynes screen, feeds it right back to him. Tynes with the running jumper was fouled. Had a bit of a size mismatch there and took full advantage as he will head to the line for 2 shots.
Okay, look before we go to break. Poulin shoots the 3, but look at Benedict here. Tips it once, tips it twice, and he finds Poulin underneath for that 2 points.
It's been a high-effort first half, high-energy first half for these 2 teams. And it is the Dolphins leading by 8 our score with 6:59 to go in the half, 26-18 Staten Island.
Number 32, Eric Tynes.
Eric Tynes to the line for CSI.
Tynes to the line.
All right, Nick.
I like that. I was giving you the credit for that.
Oh. Well, he missed the first. And we are in rare form tonight.
Yeah, we are certainly in rare form.
Jet
Conference play.
Depending on the level of stoicism and seriousness you prefer from your broadcast, jet lag is either serving me well or not so well.
Yeah.
Brandon Torres.
For me on Sunday at MetLife, lack of sleep is getting me a little bit delirious. How
That's
about that play by Poulin?
That's a different kind of jet lag. As Poulin has the steal.
I see what you did there.
Chestnut can't hit the 3. Poulin will try again. Too strong. Mavericks initially thought about pushing, and Holloway didn't have to think much about that three.
No jet lag on that shot right there by Holloway. He was quick to, go on the instinct with that three-point shot.
You might call that a TJ Trey.
Respect. I can't say much more.
You have to call it both ways, Nick. The Dolphins get all these creative calls. As Kone was rejected inside by Trahan.
Trahan with an emphatic rejection right there. Did stare down Kone a little bit after the play, so I won't say much more than that.
We'll let the video speak for itself. As the Dolphins do get it in, 7 to shoot. Chestnut for Torres, now Benedict. Step back three. A bit strong. Trahan outside. Robatham calling for a screen. Looks to work against Benedict. And he is rejected. Trahan caught it out of the air. Corner three, no good.
Benedict with another block and another rebound.
That was Mandel from the corner. Benedict now with a couple of blocks, 6 rebounds, 4 points. And Kone picks up the offensive foul.
I believe now a second foul now of this first half.
Now the Mavericks with 16 fouls, the Dolphins with just 2. And we said it during our first game, Nick. First half of that game really flew by. This half moving very quickly as well.
Well, you know what happens when we talk about the pace of play in a game.
I'm bold tonight. I'm feeling bold.
You're feeling dangerous.
Well, that's for a different reason. That's fouled. Or a foul. See, look what you did, Nick.
Foul on number 3, J.J.
Me?
That'll be his first and the Dolphins' third of the first half.
I had to think about what you said for a second.
Sometimes I like to make quips just to get people thinking, keep them on their toes. Like, wait a minute, what did he mean by that? Trahan, good on the free throw. Neither team shooting particularly well in this game. The Dolphins at 36%, the Mavericks just north of 37. As Trahan goes 2 for 2 from the line. Yeah, we need a longer HDMI cable ASAP, Nick.
Yeah, it certainly could help.
As Chestnut, you'll get a replay on that, Nick. It looked like Chestnut just threw that one in.
He did.
Shot was altered, and Chestnut just threw it off glass. Turnaround jumper, rattles out for Holloway, and Goldstein has the rebound.
Next stoppage of play, we're going to look at that Chestnut basket.
Goldstein rattles it in.
That reminded me of Steph Curry on that play, Joe. The way he moved towards the bucket and just floated it in. They like to say he made it Stepherless.
That's a good one.
I won't take credit for that
I know
one.
you won't, but still good. As Holloway buries the three, and he gave
Holloway.
Goldstein a look after that shot.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I don't know what the word would be for it. I don't want to say animosity, but.
A lot of fierce looks being exchanged so far. It's been a fun first half. Goldstein, splash.
He shot that from almost the fin.
These two teams trading blows here in the first half. Trahan outside, 3 on its way, a bit too strong. That was Mulhern from downtown. Goldstein looking to push. He was looking to shoot. Instead, Torres will look to drive. Torres given room and knocks it down.
Well, Torres, after getting a little bit of a spin, had some open space, just takes the jumper and says, why not? Nice little run for the Dolphins here.
Dolphins beginning to play with some pace now. Early on, they were looking to feature Kone. Him on the bench, they've really been looking to push. And here they come again. Tynes left open. Rolls off. Rebound by Trahan. Holloway. Fall away jumper. Falls in.
Holloway has been impressive so far in this game. Another tough jumper this time on the fadeaway.
Where would the Mavericks be without him, Nick? He has half the Mercy points.
Yeah.
That's now 13 for Holloway.
Had some big plays last year in the 2 meetings between these 2 teams.
Make it 15, more than half the points, as Goldstein gives it a flex after that bank shot.
Showing off the muscles after that play.
I can always appreciate a good flex. When I'm feeling myself like I am today, you might get one out of me, Nick. Holloway. Short. And that was out off the Dolphins. We will stay at this end of the floor when we come back. 2:31 to go in the first half. Dolphins lead it by 10. Our score, Staten Island 38, Mercy 28, as AG gives us a flex heading into break. .231 to go, first half. Dolphins lead 38-28. And Goldstein knocked that one over the baseline.
Got a close hand look at that Goldstein layup, and you'll be able to see the flex right after.
Well, we've seen some posturing in this game. It's been an entertaining first half. I hesitate to call it back and forth because the Dolphins did build a lead. The Mavericks have answered much of the way, but Dolphins could send this one to half, leading by double digits as Robatham's miss was rebounded on the inside by Boateng, and he was tied up. Jump ball.
And TJ Tibbs is livid at that call because Torres got the ball just at the whistle of the tie-up, but it's still Dolphins ball regardless, Joe.
I think they're about to tell us that we have to hustle at halftime, Nick. Let's see if I'm right. They call me Joe Stradamus for a reason.
I would.
Emily's closing in with the phone message.
Yeah, I would tend to think.
They're going to tell us to be fast.
Yeah.
That's it. All right, Nick.
I'll be quick.
Challenge accepted.
I'll be quick. You know, I was used to be called Nick the Quick.
No comment.
I used to run track.
What was your 40? I was going to say, what was your 40?
I don't remember.
Well, that's good context.
Yeah.
I have too much fun.
Yeah, you are certainly in rare form tonight.
I'm on a heater tonight. Meanwhile, J.J. Chestnut to the line for the Dolphins. Free throw short on the front end of the 1-and-1.
Yeah, maybe a comment I probably should have kept to myself.
It's okay.
That's all right.
1:45 to go. Holloway. Pull-up jumper and heavy traffic, a bit short. And Chestnut tiptoes the baseline, keeps it in. Here comes Tynes.
Dolphins will probably slow it up just a little bit to try reset and get Chestnut up the court, and that's indeed what they do.
We're inside of 90 seconds to go here in the first half. Goldstein for three. Off back iron,
And
but
got the foul.
he was fouled.
Mavericks a bit upset as they would contest say that foul was just a little bit too late of a call.
At the line for the Dolphins, number 21, Aaron Goldstein.
Aaron Goldstein to the line for the Dolphins, fouled on the shot. So he will shoot three. And the first is too strong. Goldstein's free throw good.
Checking in for the Dolphins, number 22, Andrew
One more
Benedict,
coming.
number 35, Mitchell Wiggin.
Benedict and Wiggin in for Staten Island. Tynes and Torres to the bench. And free throw by Goldstein is good. Just over a minute to go in the half. Goldstein 2 of 3 from the line, makes it a 12-point game. Robatham to the rim. Oh, no good.
That was a tough shot because he got tangled up with Chestnut on the way up. And he still was somehow able to pull up a shot.
Almost a souvenir for our stats desk there. Had to make sure the computers were okay.
Gotta be quick with it because, as we've seen earlier on this season, I had to be quick with a basketball coming towards our equipment.
Mick the Quick with his quick hands.
See, I'm trying to work it in, folks.
There you go. Robatham, tough shot. He has taken a lot of difficult shots tonight.
A lot of contact on the shot, able to make it. As Chestnut gets the bounce for the three.
Dolphins will take it. Largest lead of the game, 13 points. Robatham off back iron, rebounded by Benedict. The Dolphins could hold and leave about 5 seconds for the Mavericks. Instead, Goldstein will kick to Benedict. Splash.
They're starting to heat up, Joe, for the three-point line. This game has gone from a single-digit contest to now the Dolphins going up 16 points just before this first half ends, as I think Benedict drew a foul to try to get the Dolphins some
He fouled
substitutions.
intentionally.
Yeah.
AG to AB on the three. Dolphins lead it by 16, and they will make some defensive substitutions here as you get a look at that friendly bounce for J.J. Chestnut. I'm not sure I've ever shot on a rim more friendly than these. I consider these rims very friendly. I've played on this court 10 or 15 times. Much more in the aughts. Final seconds, first half. Holloway goes at Wiggin, gets inside and is swatted by Wiggin.
That shot was rejected with emphasis by Wiggin right there. An emphatic block with 4.5 to go in this first half.
Timeout taken by CSI.
Wiggin with the emphatic rejection.
Dolphins, number 10, Issa.
Here's one more look. 4.5 to go in the half.
What were we saying earlier? Redirected, or what was the other term? Sent away?
Sure. I think that's what we discussed.
I think that's what we said.
I
Well,
believe
he
so.
certainly sent that one away.
4.5 to go. That was last touched by Wiggin, correct? He didn't send that off another player. So timeout called in the closing seconds of the half, and we've said it before, the Dolphins a lot of the time have a bit of a lull to end the halves in games. Not so today. They've extended their lead in the closing minutes of this first half, and you have to be pleased if you're head coach TJ Tibbs.
And you got to be pleased from what you've seen. A couple players here in this game tonight. And one of the bigger ones, of course, Andrew Benedict. Coming off of the bench, the freshman has really shown out, by far, his best game of his young Dolphins career.
They get it in. Boateng had it knocked away. Dolphins with 1 second to shoot. Wiggin got it off and cannot hit. As that will bring us to halftime. Our score at the break, Staten Island 46, Mercy 30. TLC Physical Therapy halftime report with men's basketball head coach TJ Tibbs coming up. And we are back for the TLC Physical Therapy halftime report. Nick is joined down on the floor by men's basketball head coach TJ Tibbs.
All right, Joe, I'm here on the court with head coach TJ Tibbs. And TJ, really strong showing to end that first half from your team. What have you liked offensively so far from your team, ending that first half on a nice, strong note?
That the ball is being shared. I like Ace Okone's aggressiveness. We're on the glass. I don't know how many offensive rebounds we have, but we have a bunch of offensive rebounds. We're getting into the paint. We're attacking the defense. I want to say something. Charlie Marquardt is a class act. I'm so happy that he's back in the league. Long-time coach at Malloy, and now here at Mercy. There's just not enough men like Charlie Marquardt, let alone basketball coaches. So it's still an honor to stand across the sidelines from him. But when you play against a team like his, they're going to fight, they're going to defend really well, and they're going to have guys that can make tough one-on-one shots. So we got to start worrying about that.
And speaking of aggressiveness here in this first half, Andrew Benedict, a really strong, aggressive first half for him on both sides of the court. What have you liked so far from your young freshman and what he's done in the first couple of games this season, especially here tonight as well?
Everything. He's already one of the headiest and smartest kids that I've coached, but having some struggles. The adjustment of freshman year is tough for all of them. All of our freshmen are doing tremendous jobs. It just looks different. But I love how he just keeps keeping at it. And we haven't even seen 25% of what he can do. Sometimes he's so smart and so conscientious that he takes away from his own game. But I need to keep my foot in his behind to make sure that he keeps putting the foot in the gas and doing the things that we brought him here to do. But I'm proud of that kid, but he's representing all of the freshmen. Brandon Torres is playing, but the other two freshmen are doing a phenomenal job. They're just not playing right now, but they're working really hard. I love this freshman group.
Can't say any best. Thank you, TJ, so much for your time, and good luck in the second half.
Thanks for having me.
All right, that is our TLC Physical Therapy halftime report with head coach TJ Tibbs. Dolphins go into the break leading this game 46-30.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
No, I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here along with Joe Calabrese.
Here we are, 200 episodes later, about 150 episodes with guests, our friends, soon to be your friends.
Well, it's pretty clear, Joe, that it's all about You Know I'm Right, the podcast. That's my You Know I'm Right moment. Wanted to do a podcast, and everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen? You're not going to get guests. Well, guess what? I'm the best when it comes to getting guests. You could vouch for that.
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials, check us out. I promise you, if you want to work in media, whether you work in media now, whether you want to quit your job and work in media, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right foot.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
we've learned a lot from him, and we've probably learned more from him than he's learned from us.
I think they're a real important part in my life. I can't describe it. It feels amazing.
Team Impact is a national nonprofit that connects kids living with serious and chronic illness with college athletic teams, forming lifelong bonds and life-changing outcomes.
Break it! Break it! Can I have a hug? What's your favorite subject?
Math.
When you spread the word about Team Impact, you have the power to change lives.
Team Impact, we pair kids who have been sidelined by serious illness and disability with college teams from across the country.
What's up, big man? You good?
It's more than a single-day meet and greet or photo opportunity. Our program places kids on a multi-year journey, becoming true members of a collegiate athletics team.
We are
Penn State.
From signing day to game day.
I can't describe it. It feels amazing.
Team Impact. All in, all together.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
The NCAA sponsors 90 national championships each year, none of which could happen without officials. There's an urgent need for sports officials across the country, as they are retiring 4 times faster than they are coming in, leaving shortages at all levels of sport. The NCAA recognizes the importance of officiating on the student-athlete experience and is dedicated to the recruitment and retention of new officials for all sports. There are many great reasons to become an official. Stay in shape and get paid to do so. Meet new people and build relationships within a tight-knit community. Give back to the sport you love by creating a fair atmosphere and upholding the integrity of the game. Say yes to officiating. Visit ncaa.org/say yes to officiating for more information on how to get started.
Sports fans. We pack stadiums, arenas, and local gyms every day. And every sports fan is uniquely human. Seeing each play with your own eyes, triggering your own emotions. And as humans, we won't agree on every call, but we can act with empathy and consideration. So put yourself in the official shoes. Be more than a fan. Be officially human.
And we are back from the tank where the Dolphins lead it by 16 at the start of the second half. And Nick, both of us came away impressed with the way the Dolphins closed out that first half. And it seems like head coach TJ Tibbs was as pleased as he's been with his team during a halftime interview in quite a while. And they played some pretty good basketball at times this year.
Yeah, and I think what's really been impressive, Joe, is their defense really stood out at the end of that first half. Some great blocks, a couple of big plays on the defensive glass. But their three-point shooting towards the end of the half was really impressive. Chestnut made a big three. Andrew Benedict made a big three. And we've seen Goldstein a couple times as well in this game have some big shots. So what's really been showing out so far for the Dolphins is that they're shooting at a very high volume. It's been working so far in this game. Now, can that, duplicate here in the second half, trying to hold on to this lead and start off conference play 1-0.
Mavericks will possess it first to begin the second half. Their deficit is 16 points. During that first half, Mercy ended up shooting just 33%. And there's a good start here in the second half. Robatham from downtown.
It's a big shot right there by Robatham. And, you mentioned the numbers for this Mavericks team. And they've had some opportunities in this game, Joe, but shots really haven't been falling for them as foul is going to be called. I think it's on Chestnut.
Well, he did inadvertently kick a fallen player in the face. I was trying to get the call. I didn't even look down to see who it was that got taken out by Chestnut, but Mavericks now have it, trailing by 13. Robatham into the corner, Holloway. He drives the baseline, gets inside, and can't finish the lay-in. And Goldstein stepped on the baseline there after the ball had hit him in the leg.
Yeah, that was a good move to the basket right there by Holloway, but it just hit off of that side rim and did not go in.
Inbound finds its way to the perimeter. Trahan thought about it. Now Pratt. 15 to shoot. Trahan on the wing. Defended by Poulin. He'll try a three, and he knocks it down.
Well, the Dolphins trying to avoid, Joe, what happened last year here at the Tank. And 2 early threes for the Mavericks to start the second half.
Tynes, tough shot, able to finish it over the outstretched arm of Miller.
Yeah, using the body on that one to get that tough make right there. And a much-needed basket for the Dolphins after those last 2 threes.
Well, Miller had a couple of quick fouls. We didn't see much of him in that first half as that 3 rattles out. Poulin with the rebound. That's his 5th. Long outlet, and Kone was blocked.
And the ball gets stuck in the rim.
The old wedgie. That one.
Now the question is, did they call the foul or did they call the jump ball on the play? And the foul was indeed called.
Well, that ball was in there pretty good. No problem for Miller, though. Might have been a problem for me. Maybe not half a lifetime ago. It's hard to believe, but the last time I was consistently touching the rim was half a lifetime ago when I was about 16 years old. Good defensive play there by Miller to deny 2 easy points. And he did so without committing a foul that ventured into dangerous territory. A lot of the time you see players going up to try and stop those dunk attempts in transition, and they commit a foul that very well could be dangerous to the offensive player. Not so there. And Kone knocks down another free throw. 2-for-2 trip to the line. Dolphins back in front by 14.
Kone's had some nice free throw numbers so far this season. Nice 2-for-2 trip right there.
He's 5 of 6 in this game. As Trahan has the easy finish, and I think the Dolphins bench would contend that was too easy. Tynes, splash.
ET3 right there, and a quick timeout called by the Dolphins. But a much-needed 3 once again after you mentioned that last bucket scored on that play by Trahan.
With how quickly that timeout came, I'm almost inclined to think it might have been because of how easily the Mavericks were able to get 2 on the board that last trip. But the Dolphins answer back with 3. And CSI leads 53-38, 18-11 to go in the second half. Just over 18 minutes to go here in the second half. Dolphins lead is 15 points. Robatham with it well beyond the arc with 20 to shoot. They get it back to him on the inside, and he banks it in around Chestnut.
He's had pretty much the similar baskets in this game, Joe, where he's using his body to position himself in towards side the paint, and another tough basket for him in this game.
And a whistle.
Foul on Trahan.
Is that foul away from the ball?
Yeah, he and Goldstein were getting a little bit physical on that play, and he gets called for the foul.
Well, but some of the glances that have been exchanged in this game, that's not surprising, as there's a big collision. And another foul. That's already the 4th team foul on Mercy.
Foul on number 25, Tyrell Miller. That's his 4th.
That's Miller's 4th foul now of the game, so he's going to have to check out.
Well, that's going to be a big issue for the Mavericks. who have conceded quite a few offensive rebounds in this game.
So Nana now comes in, another 6'7" player on this Mavericks team. And offensive foul now on Chestnut.
Well, that's
there's an old
four quick fouls in the half.
There's an old song for this, Joe. Let the bodies hit the floor. They've been hitting the floor.
Well, that is not the song I had in mind. And you know which song I had in mind.
Do I?
Well, when you said Chestnut, immediately one
song.
No.
Well,
that's, Nick Durst, our colleague here at CSI and Communications, and JJ on camera singing Chestnuts Roasting during the season preview.
It is the holiday season.
Very, very interesting take on the preseason conversation. The lead is 13 for CSI as we approach 17 minutes to go in the half, and Robatham's off the mark from 3. He has been ultra aggressive tonight trying to find his shot. Tynes, splash.
And I'm liking the aggressiveness now from Tynes, Joe. We talked about it. He really hasn't had a lot of big scoring games this season, but he has been really aggressive here tonight. Another three-pointer for him in this game.
I said it before, Nick. There hasn't really been the quantity of opportunities as the long rebound goes to Goldstein on the move. He will spin, and he will finish. But as I was saying, Nick, there hasn't been the quantity of opportunities for Tynes for much of the year. But when he's been given those chances open from 3, he's made the most of them. Dolphins nearly stole that one. Robatham can't hit. And all of a sudden, the Dolphins are threatening to pull away here. Their lead is 18 points, plenty of time left in this game, but the momentum right now firmly on their side. They're now shooting over 51%.
Okay, a second look at that. Another ET3 in this game. So big for this Dolphins offense.
He is hoping to send the Mavericks home unhappy. Chestnut with the finger roll in traffic.
Tough lay-in right there for Chestnut. He has been very impressive as well in this game. It's been a really impressive showing for the Dolphins here to start conference play.
Well, focusing on the offensive side of things as Trahan lays it in, the Mavericks can't keep the Dolphins out of the paint, and at the same time, CSI is shooting over 47% from 3.
This is eerily familiar to the matchup they had at Dobbs Ferry and the way the Dolphins offense has been in this game.
Mavericks have shot over 42% from 3 as Kone can't finish. Trahan did a good job to alter that.
He might have blocked a split on that play.
I think he just got caught under the rim.
Yeah,
the shot was altered, and then he ended up too deep.
Yeah.
Robatham, floater, rattles in.
Another tough bucket by Robatham. All of his buckets, as I mentioned before, he's initially got into contact with the player and has just thrown it up, and he's made most of them in this game. It's been very impressive.
Poulin traveled.
Yeah, he was looking for a foul call on that play and took a couple extra steps and gets called for the travel.
15:04 to go. Second half, media timeout. As we get one more look at Aaron Goldstein going right at Trahan off the spin move. He lays it in with the left. CSI in front by 16. Our score, Staten Island 60 and Mercy 44. 15:04 to go in the second half, with the Dolphins leading 60-44 over the Mavericks. Coming out of the media timeout, it will be Mercy basketball, but Nick, every time it seems like the Mavericks are going to make a push, a couple of timely baskets, and the Dolphins extend their lead right back to near 20 points. They've led by as many as 18.
It's been a firm and steady response from CSI.
Tough attempt there by Pratt over 2 leaping Dolphins. This is Chestnut. Out to Goldstein for 3. Short. Kone with the offensive board, and he's stripped. Dolphins have been all over the offensive glass tonight. Robatham at Goldstein. Count it. And the foul.
Again, Robatham using the body to create a play, and he gets the and one right there. Nice job.
Here's one more look. And despite an inefficient shooting night, Robatham has stayed aggressive, and if he's able to find it in this second half and get into rhythm, Mavericks can very quickly find themselves back in this game.
There was one player certainly capable of do so. It's the player right here.
And from the line, he makes it a 13-point game. But these are the situations the Mavericks have found themselves in a couple of times here in the second half. Get within striking distance, the Dolphins answer right back at the offensive end. And I think it's really tough to string together the stops they need when the Dolphins have been so good on the offensive glass. Wiggin banks it in. What a move by Mitchell Wiggin.
Joe, you could hear from the crowd the oohs and ahs on that play by Wiggin. The nice up and under.
Up and under, Euro step, whatever you want to call it, it was effective. As Wiggin helped force that miss, but could not secure the rebound. Pratt's got it, and the short jumper rattles in for Nana.
I say
Goldstein out to Wiggin for 3. Bit short off the front rim. Benedict in there, Poulin was in there, and Trahan has it.
Yeah, Poulin almost was able to tip that one in off the initial miss.
Wiggin starts knocking down those threes. Good luck stopping him.
Yeah.
Because he has the mid-range game. He has the ability to attack the rim, to get downhill, to play above the rim. If he can start knocking down threes, I don't know how you defend him.
He started against Georgian Court. A couple of big shots in that game.
Goldstein in amongst the trees, kicks out to Benedict. Entry pass, Kone, hook shot off the front rim, rebounded by Trahan. Jumper short once again by Pratt, and it seems like, Nick, the pace of play may have some players out there with tired legs. A lot of short jumpers. Holloway right at Poulin, and he was fouled.
Yeah, second look right here, Joe, at that. We'll call it up and under, Euro step, whatever you want to call it, as you mentioned. By
Let me be the judge of that.
Wiggin.
You know, one could take that for a shot fake in there. He definitely did go under the defender at the end of that play, that's for sure. Free throw rattles out for Holloway. Back when I used to be a semi-competent basketball player many years ago, my go-to, and I hit my growth spurt early, so as a sophomore in high school at almost 6 foot, I was taller than most at that point. I always had the same go-to move. I would bring the ball up over my head and just bring my arms over the defender. And that's how I would get inside and get around defenders. I wasn't going under anybody, but I wasn't playing with any 6'6" defenders. Relatively short high school. I think the tallest classmate was probably 6'4", if that.
That's relatively short.
Well, for the tallest player in the high school, that's very short.
Yeah.
Wiggin. No good. Rebound pulled in by Nana. Keep in mind, at Staten Island Tech, it was a class of 200. Runner by Robatham won't go, and Poulin has the rebound.
Dolphins have numbers.
I've only covered one Tech athlete here at CSI that I know of. Poulin gets that to go somehow. Through the contact, he absorbs it. May have banged knees with Trahan.
Yeah, Trahan definitely is in some pain right now.
I think he may have hit knees with somebody, though really tough to tell. based on his reaction alone, as we get one more look at that last finish by Poulin. I don't know if it's his knee that got hit, Nick. Tough break there for Trahan. We head to break. Our score, Staten Island 64, Mercy 50. Under 12 minutes to go in the second half from the tank, with the Dolphins leading 64-50. And Nick, as I said before, the Mavericks have made a couple of small pushes to try and get back within single digits. Each time the Dolphins have had an answer. Can they keep it up for another 11 minutes plus?
Yeah, and that last answer was a really tough answer by Joey Poulin. Just pretty much threw that one up and was able to get it in. And you mentioned it, the Mavericks, every time it seems like they score, it's a quick answer back from the Dolphins.
Trahan came out of the game, as that fadeaway by Nana is good, and he has a couple of quick buckets.
Yeah, we'll see what the status is of Trahan. The remainder of this game, he is on the bench in good spirits, so that's a good sight to see. It's now a 12-point game after that last basket.
Well, Nana just attempted his first two shots, both makes. It's a 12-point game. As Poulin's a bit long on the three, Wiggin with the offensive board, and he probably should not have gone up with that. He was in a double team, and Dolphins will give possession back to Mercy off the miss.
Yeah, he was looking for a foul call for sure on that play, but good job defensively by the Mavericks right there. And with a 3-point basket, they can make it a single-digit game.
Swinging it to the wing was Nacklin. Now Holloway met with a double. Nana bounce pass, tipped, and kept in. Saved to Nana. He'll try again, and he's 3 for 3.
Nana gets a little bit of a early Christmas present on that great keep-in right there to make it now a 10-point game.
Goldstein for Benedict. He looks to drive, and his runner is good.
I spoke about it with TJ Tibbs at halftime, Joe, but you have to love the progression that Benedict has shown, and not only in these first couple games of the season, but especially here tonight. He's been really aggressive in this one.
Mavericks had it within 10, but Benedict ends the Mercy run at 6. And Robatham draws another foul.
Get a second look at that last made basket by Benedict. Nice floater right there, just near the baseline.
Robatham back to the line for free throw attempts 2 and 3. And he's short on the first. Robatham 6 of 18 from the field. He has maintained his aggressiveness from the opening tip. And as I said before, Nick, if the Mavericks are going to come from behind, they're going to need him to find it. And he goes 0 for 2 from the stripe. Fight for the rebound. Last touched by the Dolphins.
And another way for them to get back in this game is they got to make their free throws too. They're getting to the line a little bit more to start the second half, but an 0 for 2 trip right there is not going to help.
Another chance for Mercy, trailing by 12. 10 minutes to go, second half. Holloway attacks Wiggin, and he is rejected. Wiggin with another block. 5 to shoot. Robatham is short. And Benedict has another rebound. Benedict now with 8 boards. Go along with 9 points. He's pushing for a double-double. And Chestnut is short on the 3. Benedict with another rebound. Chestnut pulls it back outside, defended by Robatham. Using the Darby screen, he kicks out. 8 to shoot for Benedict. Now Chestnut for Goldstein, who was in the middle of a cut. And Chestnut knocks down the jumper.
Wow. A broken possession near towards the end of that play with Goldstein falling, but they'll get awarded an assist, it looks like, on that jump shot by Chestnut.
I think you have to give it to him. JJ got into that move pretty quickly.
And if he doesn't, I'll have a stern talk with Lou.
It could go either way. He did take a dribble, but I think it was close enough. And
give him the benefit.
Give him the style points for making the pass from his knees, as that shot won't go by Mulhern. And Darby wrestles that board away. Goldstein up the floor. Goes right at Holloway. He was blocked. And Wiggin on the follow has the putback.
Well, the Dolphins kind of caught the Mavericks sleeping on that play. That's why you saw Goldstein go quickly up the court, and a good job by Wiggin getting the offensive rebound and the second chance points.
Around the back goes Malkin. His shot won't go. Or Nacklin, excuse me. Here comes Chestnut. Splits a pair of defenders. Wiggin cutting along the baseline, lays it in.
How about that move by Wiggin? But an even better move to the basket by Chestnut, and then found him underneath the glass. Nice play all around for the Dolphins.
The Mavericks were within 10, and the Dolphins immediately respond with an 8-0 run. 8 minutes to go from the tank as we get one more look at Mitchell Wiggin. He finishes strong inside, and Wiggin with that last basket now has 6 points. The Dolphins lead it 72-54. Final 8 minutes of this one. From the tank, the Dolphins with an 18-point lead, and the Mavericks had just cut it to 10. The Dolphins, in what seemed like mere seconds, make it an 18-point game again as Nana continues to knock down his mid-range jumpers.
And Nana's been nice in this game in terms of the offensive game plan these last couple of minutes. Made some nice long-range twos, back to 16.
Well, the Mavericks will need to execute quickly and efficiently the rest of the way. As Chestnut is blocked, and once again it was Nana in there, but we had a whistle. Did it come during the act of shooting?
I think it did.
Well, it looks like Chestnut was hit low as Nana went up high to block this shot. Well, I don't think they would have called it on Nana. They did not. It was on Holloway.
Yeah, I thought so because it was all ball in the play.
Yeah. It would have been surprising if Nana was whistled for that foul. He's denied his third block of the game with that foul call as Chestnut extends the Dolphins' lead back to 18. Nacklin defended by Goldstein, looks to attack, lost the handle.
foul call on the Dolphins. They got Goldstein. Not Andrew. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Bit of a slip-up. Andrew Benedict is out there. Aaron Goldstein is out there. Can't say I've ever made that mistake.
Not a three-point shot either. That's a long range, too.
That was a 2. That was a 2.
I didn't make the mistake this time.
Well, Anthony did. That was a rough sequence. Benedict off the mark. Rebound, Chestnut saved and corralled by the Mavericks. Benedict got a hand on it, nearly swiped it back. Holloway is rejected by Kone, and a goaltend was called as well. We'll get a slow motion look at it from in close, Nick. Let's see what you got.
We'll see right here the cutting Holloway.
Well, that is definitely not a goaltend.
Yeah, didn't think it was.
Was it a foul?
I think they did call a foul because they are going.
Run it back one more time, Nick. Do the wide angle just for a different perspective of the basket on the next look.
Yeah. Get it right here.
Right after the first free throw. The perspective can definitely alter our opinion of it. Let's get a look. In live action, I did not think it was a goaltend.
They called the foul on Chestnut.
Well, it's definitely not a goaltend, and they did wave the goaltend off.
Yeah.
Now, did they ever signal a goaltend?
I don't think they did. I thought
they pointed at the rim to count the basket.
That's initially what I thought was the call too, but
yeah, I don't think they ever signaled a goaltend. So we besmirched the reputation of the officials with our incorrect statement. We apologize. Can only aspire so much. Chestnut for 3.
I'm not the one that said goaltending initially.
Well, to be fair,
I did agree with you, though.
You agreed. You saw what I saw.
I did. Meanwhile, another 3 right there for Chestnut. Been a nice showing for him tonight at the three-point line.
Inside, Nana throws up an air ball. Well, he was 5 for 5 before that as Kone waiting at the rim. Might not have been ready for the alley-oop dunk. Trahan from the corner. No good.
Half rebound by Benedict.
And the Dolphins have not stopped looking to run as Goldstein banks it in. And I said it earlier in the night, Nick, he might not get enough credit for his finishing ability with all the three-pointers he hits, his infinite range, but if there was any doubt about his ability around the rim, that's been put to rest tonight.
Yeah.
I didn't have any.
I mean, it's just been impressive what he's been doing in this game and for the majority of the season.
Wiggin throws up a wild shot. I guess it was blocked because otherwise it would have been a travel. Chestnut to the floor, and he had it taken away by Trahan. Macklin at Benedict, and he nearly got a wild shot to go.
He threw that one for sure.
Well, Benedict now double figures in rebounds. He needs 1 point for a double-double.
Certainly making a case if the Dolphins want to hold on in this game.
The question is, does anybody know except you and I and our audience? As Kone was rightfully whistled for the offensive foul there.
They'll still put a little bit of emphasis on that dunk. But what was your question?
I posed the question?
You said...
Oh, I said, does anybody know that Benedict is a point away from a double-double except you, myself, and the audience? Do you think anyone knows?
I don't think so.
Does our stats desk know?
I'd hope so.
Well, they would know if they look, but did they look?
I would tend to think no.
I agree. Holloway off the back rim, and there's rebound number 12 for Benedict. Tynes left all alone. Can't make the Mavericks pay this time.
13.
Wow. Tynes again. Short this time.
Look how much elevation he's getting on those rebounds, too. Oh, he just snagged that one down.
I'd like to see him try and dunk it. Pull-up jumper by Trahan is good. Well, Trahan's had a nice night, not to be lost in what has been an overall poor shooting performance for Mercy. Trahan is 7 of 11 with 18 points and 7 rebounds. And He's played well. 2 blocks as well. Goldstein for Kone, gets it right back. Thought about the 3, feeds Kone, and he's fouled. Good
Trey
ball
knew
movement
that
there.
one. Trey knew immediately that one was going to be called on him.
And we will head to our final media timeout. 3:48 to go. Dolphins lead it 79-62. .348 to go from the tank. The Dolphins lead it by 17 with a chance to extend that lead as they send Asa Kone to the line. So you and I speculated during the break who might be the player of the game. J.J. Chestnut has 21 points on 8 of 9. Aaron Goldstein with 18 on 7 of 11. Do the Dolphins try and get Andrew Benedict one more point for the double-double?
I think you have to. I think you got to give him the opportunity. But the way he's been rebounding, he might take the opportunity anyway.
I think the way that the Dolphins performed in this game, Benedict's effort.
That was an interesting buzzer.
Really personified the team's effort tonight. And I think this is the kind of win that Coach Tibbs will really like. Not only did you shoot it well, but there were a lot of those hustle and effort plays that he takes great pride in. Players down on the, you said, let the bodies hit the floor. I think that's a pretty good way to describe it.
Yeah, I think what you've seen tonight, Joe, is what this team's potential can be the rest of the way in conference, because we saw it early on in the Tournament of Heroes, and we've seen it a couple of times already as they forced a turnover right there on the inbounds pass.
Torres was blocked. So Miller back in there, and that's another interesting takeaway from this game, Nick. How could the game have been different had Miller not gotten in foul trouble? Because the Mavericks were without him for much of this game, and that's a big interior presence. Your tallest player at 6'7", and the Dolphins did a lot of good work in the paint that maybe doesn't come quite as easily if he's out there.
And remember how this game started with them going to Kone a lot inside of the paint on the post move.
Benedict, too strong from 3, rebound pulled in by Boateng.
Certainly trying to give him the opportunity right there to get that double-double.
Holloway is fouled. Foul on Leighton Woods.
And correct me if I'm wrong, is this Jace Martabano's first time appearing in a game this season?
No.
Okay. Glad I asked before that.
I know of the games I covered off the top of my head, so he's appeared in one of those, and he's appeared in 2 games overall. Both Florida games.
I was going to say, I don't remember it being here, so that makes sense.
He had 6 points on a couple of made threes in 14 minutes at Florida Southern. That's the game I called back on November 18th.
And look at the Dolphins' bright future, hopefully. as they look to get some big minutes down the stretch of this game.
Benedict doubled, turned it over, but Woods got it back. Torres for three, too strong, and they'll say the Mavericks never possessed it. Dolphins only had a couple of seconds on the shot clock. No turnover for Benedict. And Holloway rattles in a three.
Holloway's had a nice game too as well, Joe. Nice first half. Hasn't been there as much as in the second half, but still a nice three-point shot right there.
Well, I think the standout aspect of Holloway's stat line is his 3 of 4 from downtown. Don't know if they got that last make it. I don't think they did. So he's now 4 of 5 from downtown, leading all scorers with 23 points, but he's shooting just 7 of 18. And I think the big difference in this game was the overall shooting efficiency of these two teams. Dolphins up at 46%, the Mavericks at just 38. On the glass, however, and I think this is unsurprising, the Dolphins are out rebounding the Mavericks 50-32.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, with the way Benedict has been tonight rebounding, we saw Kone as well in that first half too. It doesn't really surprise me that the Dolphins have been able to do this tonight, and we've seen it so far this season. They've had some really impressive rebounding numbers so far on the young year. So keeping this up going into conference play is certainly a nice step in the right direction. Now you need to keep going at it the rest of the way.
Artabano tied up in the corner, finds Woods. And a foul was committed, 1 second shy of a violation.
And that's going to put the Dolphins in the bonus, so Dolphins getting a big break right there. I at least thought it was in the bonus. I'm just a foul behind. So that's 6 fouls now. 1 away from the bonus.
Inbound goes to Benedict. And he was nearly fouled. Had to go through a lot of traffic. He'll try and score it.
He's got a shot
there we
now,
go.
Joe.
Well, they knew. They definitely knew, Nick.
Yeah, once you get a quick glance at the stat sheet, you gotta give your players a chance.
Lewis read our minds, Nick.
I'd hope so.
Well, Benedict was bloodied. Will he shoot the free throws?
That would be really unfortunate if he were not able to shoot them and miss out on a chance to get the double-double.
He got hit in the face, and
I don't think he's going to shoot them, Joe.
I'll tell you, Nick, the towel immediately went to the eyebrow. He's not going to shoot them.
Yeah, he's not going to shoot them. You're going to bring Goldstein back in.
Yeah, he must have a gash up on his eye, but that's as far as we'll speculate. It looked like immediately the towel went straight to his eyebrow, and to stop the bleeding there sometimes can be a bit difficult. We saw J.J. Chestnut get hit in a similar spot, had to come out in the second half of that game with a headband securing the gauze to his eye, and then proceeded to hit some big shots down the stretch, if I recall. And now headband J.J. Chestnut's here to stay. Sports the headband every game.
That's true.
So Aaron Goldstein will take the free throws. Now, he misses the first. Well, assuming we can't speak to Andrew Benedict, who then comes over? I think it has to be J.J. Chestnut.
Yeah, it has to be Chestnut.
Goldstein 1 of 2 from the line. You can make the case for Aaron as well.
Yeah.
How many interviews have we done here at home? 2 or 3? I think we've done 3, and 2 of them were with Goldstein.
How about, speaking of 3,
well,
Holloway with an incredible shot.
We're talking interviews, Nick, in an 11-point game. You never know. You never know.
Stranger things have happened.
That is very true. Stranger things have happened. For those who don't know, we only interview a Dolphin postgame if they win. So fans of the Mavericks might be telling us to put the brakes on, screaming at their TVs. But Mercy has not quit, to their credit.
Foul number 15, Christopher Nana. That'll be his first and Mercy's 8th of the second half. At the line for the Dolphins, number 2, Leighton Woods.
Free throw good by Woods. Second attempt. Good.
What's
And,
immediate call for
well,
foul?
The bench beside themselves over that foul.
Yeah, you can't really have that with still 2 minutes left. You don't want to get them free throws.
Well, I think you would expect that foul to be inconsequential, but that does not mean you should commit it. And I think if you're the Dolphins, you're certainly hoping that's inconsequential.
Now, I want to take a look, Joe, at how many minutes Goldstein has played tonight. I'll look in just a moment. He's played 32. Could we make the moniker that he might be the Iron Man of this team? Because I felt like he's played a lot of minutes in a lot of these games.
I think certainly he's played more minutes than any other Dolphin.
Yeah, he would have to.
And I actually did look at that yesterday. And it's by about a 30-minute margin over J.J. Chestnut.
Yeah.
Joey Poulin's played a lot of minutes, too. He's closing in on 200. He's there now, but he was closing in on 200 before the night. It was Poulin 197, Chestnut 208, and Goldstein 241. Goldstein throws it up and does not get it to go in. But, Nick, you just got the sense. The way tonight's gone, that one I thought was heading down, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah, I thought so too. That's one of those ISO balls, clear the pathway. I want to go for a layup, and he almost found a way to get that one to fall. But he will go to the free throw line to shoot 2 more.
Goldstein knocks down another free throw. Well, Aaron's very quickly closing in on the team high in scoring. If he hits this free throw, he and J.J. Chestnut will both have 21. Do we steal Benedict? Oh, he's coming back in, Nick. He's coming back in. I was about to say, do we steal him from the trainer's area? Well,
do we have a wireless mic that could have reached them there if that was the case?
It appears no gash. I think they have to send him over.
I would tend to agree with you.
Mavericks hoping to make that a moot point, but time is running out. They trail by 13. Final 90 seconds. Holloway. No good. Darby with the rebound, and down he goes. And that's 10 team fouls on Mercy. 2 free throws coming up for Darby. Unless they got him for the foul. And they did.
They did.
Well, I thought Darby got cut out from down low there.
I thought so too.
But that's why I'm aspiring and not an official.
Instead of the Dolphins being in the double bonus, it's now the Mavericks being in the double bonus.
Free throw no good by Holloway. Second free throw good. Benedict tied up. And he turned it over. Pratt puts it up and in. 10-point game.
An immediate timeout called by the Mavericks.
Well, Mercy doing all they can to make this game a bit more interesting.
We'll see if the Dolphins maybe make some substitutions, Joe, with a minute 14 now only up by 10.
Well, this Mavericks team has absolutely no quit in them. And I think if you're a fan of Mercy, you love to see that. And as I said before, Nick, if they shot it just a bit more efficiently, this game looks a lot different. The foul trouble from Miller certainly hurt as well.
It really came down to, Joe, that end of the first half. Because the Dolphins went on a really strong run to end the half and go up 16 before the break. That half is pretty much right now the difference of this game. But the Mavericks, if they're able to force another quick turnover off another inbounds pass, they're going to keep themselves alive in this game.
Well, Miller, who only averages 13 and a half minutes a game, was making his second start tonight. He fouled out in just 7 minutes. So if you're the Dolphins here, effectively the conversation is get the ball in bounds and get it across half court. If you can take 30 seconds off the clock, that's probably enough to close this game out, leading by 10. The Mavericks, if the Dolphins cross half court, will probably foul. And then it becomes a matter of knocking down your free throws.
And how about this by Coach TJ Tibbs? He's going to leave the 5 still in. So this young group will have to try to keep this game, the Dolphins, up 10.
Coach Tibbs knows that all the team had to do was get the ball in and maybe even cross half court, but the Mavericks don't force them to go that far, and Benedict will head to the line with a chance to register his first career double-double.
Both teams now will be in the double bonus for the remainder of this game.
The question is now, as a freshman, is he aware of what's coming? As Benedict misses the free throw. And I didn't mean the free throw, Nick. I meant the interview. Whether or not he gets it, I think we'll talk to him post-game.
There it is.
They took a look across the gym, too. Now, do they know I jinxed it?
I don't know.
Or nearly jinxed it?
Nearly.
Holloway gets the bounce.
How about Holloway, man? There's incredible shots he's made tonight.
He has 31. Torres doubled. Now Benedict up ahead to Woods. Woods banks it in.
Nice job by Layden Woods right there. Making the most of this opportunity. Gets that 2 points to fall.
Holloway, short. Dolphins might take a shot clock violation. We'll see.
They will not.
They will not?
They will not.
Darby kept it in off the tip pass. Torres, short, and look who it is, Nick.
Might as well, right?
Benedict's got it, and the Dolphins call timeout.
Might as well.
Might as well. You know Coach Tibbs loves that effort from Benedict. He now has 14 rebounds.
And the most impressive of that, Joe, 6 of them are offensive rebounds as well.
I was just about to say that.
Right?
Just
Great minds
about
think
to
alike.
say it. Well, we'll get a chance to talk to him in about 24 seconds. Our score, the Dolphins 88 and the Mavericks 77 as we close in on the end of the second half. But for CSI, you have to be pleased with this performance in your conference opener, avenging a loss to the Mavericks late last year. That loss came in a very important game for the Dolphins. And if you're CSI, this one has to feel good. It's back to work here at the Tank on Monday.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the good thing is that they're able to wash away that crushing defeat because, as we talked about it, there's a buzzer beater win for the Mavericks in that game last year. So a nice bounce back for CSI in this matchup tonight. They'll go to now a record of 5-3 on the season and the all-important 1-0 in conference play.
And, Nick, that's back to work for us on Monday as the attempted alley-oop results in another offensive board. But the Dolphins are back to work on Saturday at St. Thomas Aquinas College.
But we are here on Monday, though.
We are here. That's back to work for us. But the way I phrased it, it implied it implied that was the Dolphins' next game. It's back to work for us on Monday against, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, Cheney University of Pennsylvania.
I think you're correct.
I think that's a safe bet. The Dolphins visit the Spartans of St. Thomas Aquinas College on Saturday in conference play.
How big of a matchup is that considering the season Stack had last year? We talked about this during one of our commercial breaks, but with these teams trying to compete with Damon, who had a really strong season last year, that game is going to be a really important game to mark on the calendars for the entire conference because those two teams are trying to battle with Damon for that top spot in the ECC.
Laying good by Holloway. Benedict will get it across the timeline. And we'll heave it back to the perimeter. That'll do it. The Dolphins score 90 points in their conference opener on their home floor as they knock off the Mercy University Mavericks 90-79. The TLC Physical Therapy post-game report featuring our player of the game, Andrew Benedict, coming up shortly. He's back at the trainer's table for a bit more treatment. Hopefully our crew can track him down and send him over. I see Lou looking for him. Hopefully he finds him. We'll be right back. And we are back from the tank for our TLC Physical Therapy post-game report. Nick is joined down on the floor by our player of the game, Andrew Benedict. It looks like some of his teammates will join Nick and Andrew as well. Nick, take it away courtside.
All right, Joe, up here on the court, we're our TLC Physical Therapy player of the game, Andrew Benedict. Andrew, again, some great congratulations from your team here tonight. First and foremost, great to see that you're okay after that little scare at the end of the game. But talk to me about the resilience of your team so far throughout the first 8 games of the season. Really strong showing here tonight to start conference play. What has your team done so well so far throughout these first 8 games?
I mean, it's just been mental toughness. Every practice, we stayed with it. Even at the end of the game, they were coming back a little bit, but as a group, we just stayed with it, and that's what really separating us right now.
And you might be the symbol, symbolize that toughness with the stitches you have right now, or the little cut over your eye. But 14 rebounds in this game for you, 8 on the defensive side, 6 on the offensive side. Your coach talked about it at halftime with me. He's really liked what you've done so far throughout your first 8 games in terms of development. Talk to me about what your coaches have done with you so far throughout the preseason, going into this season, and what you're looking forward to the most, trying to end this stretch of the season in conference play.
I mean, as a freshman, he just gave me confidence. So I'm not afraid to go out and make a play, and I'm just go out and play, because he doesn't care, and that's what I really like about him. He just lets us go.
Andrew, great to see that you're okay. Definitely go get that eye checked out when you get back to the trainer's room. Thank you for joining us for our TLC Physical Therapy post-game report.
Yeah, thank you.
Joe, throw it back to you.
All right, Nick, thank you, and thank you to our TLC Physical Therapy player of the game, Andrew Benedict, as Nick joins me back on headset. Nick, final thoughts on this Dolphins win. If you're CSI, this one a great start to your conference schedule. You have to feel good about your performance tonight.
Yeah, you certainly do, Joe, with the way this team played here tonight. Both sides of the ball, you saw it that early on in that first half, a great way to end that first half, made some big threes towards the end of the half, and we saw it as well on the defensive side. Really strong showing for them in tonight, a couple of big blocks. We talked about it with Andrew just a short moment ago. Great rebounding here for the CSI team tonight, and that's something that you need to see throughout the entirety of the season, finding that rhythm on the offensive side while also showing that mental toughness throughout the defensive side of the unit. So a good start for the Dolphins, and we'll see how it carries over the rest of conference play.
Well, as we mentioned, Nick, it's back to work for you and I on Monday, but the Dolphins continue conference play at St. Thomas Aquinas College on Saturday. You can catch that game right here on Flow College, courtesy of the stream over at Stack. If you want to hear from us again, tune in on Monday as the Dolphins take on Cheyney University of Pennsylvania here at the Tank. But until then, this has been Joe Foreman alongside Nicholas Pavona. Our final score, the Dolphins 90 and the Mavericks 79 as CSI wins their 2025-26 conference opener. Thank you for watching, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night.